Fylion is 0-1. They are in group N. Again, there's 15 matches I have in these, and it looks like we're underway.
Well, we now know where the boss of Eastern Palace is.
Yeah, compass for Eastern. That's not really a huge deal. So as we get these streams synced up, again, we're going to deal with standard mode. So this next 6 minutes, we're going to have the sword, so that's good. And a little glitchiness there, but I think that was just on the stream side of things. So again, we're going to definitely see the sword from Uncle, and we're definitely going to see the Hyrule Castle small key somewhere early on here. But other than that, it could be literally anything, really.
Yep.
And another compass. Yeah, this is not the...
I don't think this is the start that Fylion was looking for.
Not the items we are looking for to start, no. And you notice the two sprites that we are using. You see the Dark Link for Fylion and a Girl Link on Cadenza's side. Because Fylion is dark and Cadenza is a girl. It makes sense.
So, I mean, the interesting thing about this maps and compasses, I believe, is that I think the logic says that you'll have the map and compass before you can actually beat a dungeon. But, of course, for most of our speedrunners, they really don't care about that.
Yeah. So we might find a map for Hyrule also in here somewhere, but I'm not sure about that 100%. You do notice Fylion was killing some of these enemies along the way. A bomb drop would be really nice to get from one of these enemies, or to open bombs from a chest, so we can access 3 additional items in the sewers. So standard mode, you're not going to see any deviation at all for this first 6 minutes, and probably not for a while, because both these runners more than likely will go straight to Kakariko. And there's your small key to this dungeon, which we knew was going to be one up in the next 3 chests.
Yeah, with this being an all dungeons key sanity, the item collection rates are likely going to be pretty high for these runners.
Yeah. The other thing that's going to be pretty high, which I'm pretty sure Twitch chat would appreciate, is the likelihood of a potential Ganon's Tower double dip. Oh, there's your silver arrows right away, okay. But the reason why a Ganon's Tower double dip is more likely is because to open Ganon's Tower, you still just need the 7 crystals. The items to complete the pendant dungeons might very well be in Ganon's Tower. What you can do, though, is you can complete Ganon's Tower, then leave after you kill Aga 2, and then go complete the pendant dungeons after that. So it's not like you have to double dip Ganon's Tower, but Ganon's Tower might not necessarily be the last dungeon you face.
Yeah, and for a lot of runners, it's not, especially if they hold off on Aga Tower until after they beat Ganon's Tower. We'll see if these runners elect to do that. The difference in Key Sandy is that Aga Tower actually has 2 items that could be progression.
That is true. But I mean, we have to defeat Aga Tower anyway. That's one of the dungeons in all dungeons, believe it or not. To answer your question, chat, real quick, no, there is no entrance shuffle in this tournament. The options include things like retro mode, inverted mode, swordless, stuff like that. Just things that basically keep to the, other than inverted, really, try to keep to what you're doing, like you're entering the right doors and stuff.
I do think entrance was considered, but they decided it was a little too complex for what they wanted for this tournament.
Yeah, a few of the modes that they decided not to run for this tournament for various reasons was entrance, was pedestal goal, and Triforce Hunt.
Yeah, and I think those were also more just because those were a little too easy and variable.
Yeah.
But Cadenza is the first to get a bomb.
Yeah, so finally I probably will find the bomb eventually, unless the bomb drop that he was supposed to get became like one of those keys he got earlier. Find a blue mail, which is a nice armor upgrade for our runners. I'll never turn down blue mail. Finally, I'm continuing to farm for these bombs, which Cadenza got the drop on. Now, Fylion does know that the keys will not drop an item, so he knows how to kill them. They both got the same 20 rupee drops, so they're probably back on the same page as opposed to drops. But Fylion might just have an unlucky draw here. Might have to come back once he finds the Power Glove. When Cadenza got that bomb, I had a feeling Fylion was going to get that bomb there too. We find a Pod Small, another Pod Small, and a bee in a bottle.
Well, Fylion's going to get what he wanted and leaving Hyrule Castle with a couple keys. Also, that bottle will let them check Sick Kid right away in Kakariko.
Also, you notice Cadenza just got an 8-drop on one of these enemies. So that's all the bombs you're going to need for Kakariko Village for sure. Oh, Fylion just got the 8-bomb drop. Accidentally left it behind. I'm sure he would have loved to have that. Because it doesn't find a shield to finish the true Uncle Starter pack. Alright, so normally when I play a normal mode, I would check the map here to see what the Light World's crystals are. However, in Key Sanity, the crystals and pendants are going to be hidden to our runners until we find the map for that dungeon.
Yep, so... Oh, nice full magic fill there.
Yep, we're going to see right now... I mean, Aga's definitely required. We're going to see if there is an item on an Aga. So, we see. That's just 20 rupees. We're still going to have to need to kill Aga because it is an all dungeons race. But knowing if there's an item there can tell these runners when they can do Aga. They can route it a little more efficiently.
So we're seeing both runners basically follow the standard path coming out of Escape. You're gonna go to the Lost Woods to Kakariko, check all the Kakariko chests, and then we'll see if they decide to both go South Shore or not.
An early flute is definitely a very nice thing, especially since you're going to activate it right away once you get to Kakariko.
Yeah, these runners are getting a nice, easy start.
Fylion still needs some bombs, though. He's sitting on 0 at the moment. He's not going to be able to do too much. If he doesn't find bombs, he'll have to either buy them or skip 3 checks here in Kakariko. So he's just going to kill some more enemies. He knows there's an 8-bomb drop in the pool somewhere. It looks like sorry.
It looks like Fylion, he's probably going to route to buy bombs the way he's going.
Yeah, that definitely looks like where he's going. Master Sword on Cadenza's side in blind side. As Fylion decides to activate his flute now, probably going to go down, buy bombs, and come back up and do what Cadenza's doing at the moment.
I think he might have tried to sell the bee, but it didn't work.
Well, the bee was not the golden bee, so you can't get the 100 rupees from the bottle vendor for a regular bee. The Swamp Palace small key is very important because you need that to enter Swamp Palace. Luckily for our runners, it's pretty free. And there's your first Aga Tower key for Fylion. We got a Moon Pearl and Power Glove. And oh, that's a pretty good well. Moon Pearl
Yeah.
Power Glove Ganon Samaria.
That's a loaded well.
An ice rod from the bottle vendor. Hopefully Fylion finds the rupees he needs to get that. I'm pretty sure he will. Oh gosh, and the hammer is in the chicken hut.
So
this is a loaded Kakariko if I've ever seen one.
that is barely above 10 minutes for Dark World access.
Oh yeah, we have Dark World access, that's right.
We are going to have a wide open seed.
Wide open overworld. We do not have nearly enough keys to do any dungeons at the moment, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think in Key Sanity, I like to complete the overworld first, just to see which dungeons I can full clear when I start dungeon diving. And especially in all dungeons mode as it is, you want to try to avoid double dips.
So, with potentially Dark World access coming out of Kakariko, it's going to be interesting to see how these runners decide to route things, because that opens up so much more early.
I'm personally a fan of going straight to Dark World and seeing what I can do. The only thing holding back from that play, I think, would be we do not have the mirror at the moment.
It's possible.
Alright, we see nothing on the library. Finally, let's finishing up the Kakariko checks. Cadenza is going to go straight to the race game, which is definitely a play I like more in Key Sanity. And finally, let's go straight to the Dark World, so we have our first divergence here. And it's just a map, and Cadenza's not going to pick it up.
So, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. He got a quick map check. Was that a pendant?
Yeah, it's a pendant, Skull Woods. Again, pendant's not a huge matter. The only thing that's going to matter in the difference between pendants and crystals is pedestal and opening gas tower.
So Fylion is going to dip into Skull Woods, but this isn't really a double dip per se, because, well, I mean, it is, but it's hard to treat it as double dip because of how this dungeon is laid out.
Yeah, the layout is the layout for Skull Woods is one where you don't mind double dipping it, and he just got 2 items he wanted. He's gonna, I don't know if he wanted to die or not, because he's gonna respawn at a point I don't know if he's happy about, but anyway, he's probably just gonna check the rest of the checks in this dungeon. With the Cadenza Mario, you can also check the vanilla big key chest a little faster than normal. Cadenza using the sword beam strat on the mini Moldor cave, as we see not much yet in here. Red potion's nice and all, but we already have a bottle, and yeah, just red potion and cash. Nothing going on here in the Moldor cave. Fylion finds a key that's always in every mode, pretty much, except for like no logic stuff. Vanilla small key.
Yeah, like I said, beyond like some no logic modes, that's the one chest in the game that never gets randomized.
Yeah, just to prevent soft locks from happening, which makes sense. Oh, I like that strat. Okay, so finally I took that key and decided to go this way, just to make routing a little faster. It's the red boomerang. Ooh, and the powder in Ice Rod Cave.
Okay, that's a nice pickup. One more chest for Fylion to check in here. Well, Cadenza's gonna go to Dark World through the portal by Link's house, which puts us right by Hype Cave.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get a Hype Cave check here, it looks like. Again, the general strat in Key Sanity is just do as much overworld as you can, then see which dungeons you can fully clear after the fact.
Alright, we start High Cave with the Piece of Heart. Piece of Heart. Small key to Ganon's Tower. First big key, Ice Palace. So 3 pieces of heart, a big key, and... I already forgot what the other item was.
It wasn't anything. It was 2 small keys and the big key to ice, which really, for these runners, will only open 1 chest because these runners are skilled enough to not need the big key to Ice Palace to complete the dungeon.
Unless there's something in the big chest of Ice Palace.
Yeah, that's the one thing that big key will, along with the big keys to Swamp and Skull, which are logically not needed, except for those big key chests. For Ice Palace, it's a logic break, but most of the runners, pretty much all the runners in top 96 million Ice Palace bomb jump at this point.
The digging game check here.
Yep, the word continues. First foray into the digging game over for Cadenza.
And it was just a red rupee.
Alright, let's see. Is this going to be our... No, it's not that mountain yet. It looks like it might be... Oh, with that magic powder, we're going to go check Magic Bat.
Yep. And they don't have a lot open. They can go up to Death Mountain, but without smear or hook shots, they only have access to a couple locations. Actually, only 1 location in Logic.
I just noticed something chat pointed out that I just noticed on the tracker. I don't think fylion grabbed that ice rod from the bottle vendor just yet, but I don't think he's going to forget it. That's not something he would be forgetting. He'll try to just wrap that in when it's a little easier for him. And speaking of rods, there's the fire rod over for Cadenza at Magic Bat.
So, with that fire rod, they have a dungeon they can or at least Cadenza has a dungeon she can complete now.
Yeah, Skullwoods is now fully completable except for that big chest. So we have the desert ledge check, and we're going to go over to Agina's cave. Well, finally on the dark room strats to rescue the old man in the dark. It's a small key to Mire, which is pretty much useless trash in Key Sanity.
Yeah. Mire has so many keys easily available that any small keys you actually get for it are really not useful.
Yeah, logically they'll be all but 1 is actually useful. But yeah, for the most part, Mire small keys are just like a debated moment when you play this game. Along with Skullwood small keys. 1 is nice for Skullwoods, but yeah, you don't really need them. And we're going to get our first look at the infamous hint tile here for fylion. He remembers to go into Spectacle Rock. Check what this hint is.
Now, one thing worth noting on the hints in Key Sanity is one of them will guarantee to have a hint to the location of the Ganon's Tower Big Key. And these hint tiles have decided matches.
And we get the hint that bottles and mini Moldorm Key. Well, there you go. Now, I don't know if this is biased towards Key Sanity or not, but I've been playing a little bit of Key Sanity, a little bit more lately, and it seems as though the hints are a little more, well, less vague in Key Sanity as opposed to regular modes. find the Ether Medallion in Sahasra's closet, which finally is heading there now.
So, way things are laying out, I wonder if we're going to get an early Turtle Rock dive. We've already got both rods, Cane of Samaria, hammer, one glove, and we've got a medallion.
So we just need mitts and either hookshot or mirror, and we can enter an Eastern Palace's green pendant. So quite vanilla, if you ask me.
Now, of course, with the key sanity, you still need like a couple more keys for Turtle Rock, plus the big key. But you never know how this seed could play out. And the way items are laying out so far, when you get a lot of items for a dungeon early, it tends to mean you should go there.
Yep, let me find another big key here. Oh, there's a big key of Skullwoods. Now that's actually really good for Cadenza that she didn't go with Skullwoods when she did, because now she can fully clear it once she goes there.
Yeah, that is a very nice find.
Yeah, Fylin's not going to be too upset because you know he's going to go back to Skullwoods anyway once he finds Fire Rod, so won't be too much of a hassle for him either. Even though he's already been there.
Yeah, you were most likely going to clear out full clear Skullwoods anyway, so this is really not going to cost you much time.
We find bottle number 3. This one also with a B in it.
Now, if you notice up at the top of their screen, one thing the compass does do in Key Sanity, actually does it it can do it in a lot of modes, but it does in Key Sanity for sure, is that once you collect the compass, it will give you an item collection at the top of a screen. Most of these runners don't really need that, but still a nice little feature.
Yeah, it's the only way that devs can really think of making the compass more useful, like they did with the map. And we find flippers here in the compass chest here in Eastern. And I know what you're alluding to with the with that being used other modes. It's used in easy mode, and it's always there, not just when you have the compass.
So Hinton Eastern wasn't really useful, just a piece of heart held by someone friendly.
Yeah, that could someone friendly refers to any item you get from any NPC. Those flippers are probably what we needed to progress a little bit more for Overworld. Now we can check within logic. We can check things like the Waterfall Fairy and Zora Ledge, stuff like that.
So Cadenza's coming up on the last chest so I can check in logic. Well, this actually isn't even in logic.
Yes, last chest I can check here. It's not in logic until you have the lamp. And you gotta be careful, but get to and find some arrows. So we're not gonna be able to finish Eastern Palace until we have the big key and the bow.
Well, we did get two interesting things in there. Those flippers and that Skullwoods big key.
Now, let's see what our runners decide to do, and looks like we're going to see... This might be a Houlihan setup for Cadenza, so she's going to set up for Zora.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's the slightly tougher, slightly lesser used Houlihan strat. The more common one's the one a little further to the east of the spot. However, with flippers, that setup does not work.
Phylion's going straight for the flipper spots.
Yeah. And I think Cadenza's not going to be too far behind. She just wanted to get that money for Zora. Finally found the extra money, I believe, in Skullwoods had a big 300.
So see a big 20 on the island. Not going to be going for that.
That's our third pod small key off the hobo.
So for these runners, you really only need 4 small keys to complete pod, assuming you have the bow. You can do some nice maneuvering to save keys if you have the bow in pod.
Yeah, with there's 6 keys for pod, and logically you're gonna need all 6 to complete the dungeon. But you can save 2, one by skipping the big door in the early part of the dungeon. You can use the hammer to go around it, and second by doing the hammer jump that you see a lot in NMG runs. A lot of players have been practicing that setup. Find a map for Hyrule. That's literally useless, but also proves that you don't really need the Hyrule map. And both our runners get our free bottle item here. And it's only green.
So 2 more items in logic up here.
Yep, we'll get the item from Zora, and we'll get that normal. I don't think we're going to pick up those 10 arrows.
Nope.
So, real quick, chat, answer a question, chat, about how the variants are determined. So, each of our runners in the groups will race 3 races. The first race is chosen by the higher seed, and they choose all the modes. The second race is from the lower seed, they choose all the modes. And the third race is completely random, but each of the runners gets to veto one specific mode. This is race 1 between these runners, so fylion chose this exact mode.
And his words on why he chose it is it because it's a combination he didn't see people choosing.
Yeah, and this is basically what this is NMG, but key sanity.
Okay, so fylion looks like he's gonna come and check over Hype Cave right now.
Yeah, Cadenza might be making us go Woods play. She can fully clear it in one go.
So, I mean, there's not a lot more you can do at this point. Cadenza can do all of Skull Woods. You've got the front of Thieves Town. You also have the other 3 chests in Village of Outcasts. Fyon's gonna get some red crystal information.
Thieves and Swamp.
So there's 2 of our crystals. Though at this point, we know that of the remaining dungeons, all but 1 of them are crystals.
Yeah, we already know that Skull is a pendant. Eastern is a pendant. Up, and we find the Titan's Mitts in Village of Outcasts.
It opens some more spots as well.
Yeah, we're one step closer to that Star Rock Gamble.
And Cadenza's going to use those Titan Mitts and check the hammer pegs right away.
Yeah, it's a little slow to do this without the boots, but you might as well get out of the way. I mean, the mitts might have been the logic we needed to continue on. I mean, you definitely need the mitts. You need most of the items in this game in all dungeons.
And unfortunately, just another compass.
The question is, will we see the entire Smith chain now? I think she still needs to finish off Village of Outcasts, and I think she's going to do Skull before she does the Smith chain. Fylion is going to Magic Bat. He did not go back to Bottle Vendor yet. I hope he remembers that. He is remembering Magic Bat, though, which is good. This is Fire Rod.
So Cadenza's going to dip into Thieves Town without the big key. All she can check is the front 4 chests.
Yeah, but the front 4 chests are pretty free, so it makes sense to just knock these out while you can. You might find something that leads to the Thieves Town big key in here. And fylion is forgetting about the bottle vendor again. But he did not do these 2 checks, because remember, he went straight to the Dark World from Kakariko last time.
So far, the compasses have been coming out pretty rapid fire.
Yeah, better get those out of the way, I guess. I mean, they're completely trash. You prefer, like, all 10 of them to be in Ganon's Tower or something. And Phylion's going to take those 3 pod keys and going to take the dive into Palace of Darkness. Meanwhile, Cadenza is going to do the blacksmith sequence. But without the mirror, we got to save it quick to get back to the light world in order to turn it.
So each runner has a follower right now.
We're playing bingo. We just go to Catfish and never mind. Alright, let's see if Blacksmith has anything required. No, does not.
The compasses continue.
Now we can count the items in Desert. Nice big 20 in the first chest here in pod, and normally if you come into pod with a bow and open that, it's not a small key, you're like, well, we're done here. But in Key Sanity, we have 3 keys, so we can... Fylion can pretty much check every chest but Helmasaur if he wants to right now.
And I think he's going to set up the potion glitch.
He doesn't need the potion glitch on... Oh yeah, he does have to because he doesn't know. You're right. And now we know we don't. The Tower of Error small key is not required.
That's going to be a little bit of a time savings.
Oh yeah. He went in and was like, "Oh wait, I gotta do something first. This is an Randomizer." Although Randomizer is one of the modes you can choose in this tournament, which means it changes some things like the logic of this room. Cadenza taking a death while trying to set up the bomb jump in Skull to try to get to the Skull Big Chest, which is one of the things we have not seen yet from when Fylion came in here. This bomb jump is not easy without the boots, and gets it done this time. But now gets trolled by this mini boulder. Oh no. Another compass.
So with 3 keys, Fylion does have to be... Well, actually, no, he doesn't really have to be too careful with his keys. like I said, he can check everything but Helmasaur if he does it right.
Yes. But he's probably going to put off on the 2 one-off checks in case he does find the bow in here. He'd rather kill Helmasaur than check those 2 chests.
He's not going to bomb jump right away.
He's probably going to do it after he comes back down. Another thing you might notice about Key Sanity is the health is not as plentiful because of the way the logic works. So finally just getting his 5th heart now. And these 2 checks down here are a sequence break, as will the Dark Maze, because we do not have the lamp yet.
That sequence break doesn't really mean much so far because that was just 2 maps.
Okay, but we still have Dark Maze. And he is going to spend the first key to check Harmless Hellway, and then he's going to come back down and then probably do the bomb jump here. Or he's always going to check the Vanilla Big Key first and then hammer you up over. Okay, this makes sense. So, someone in chat wants to know how the potion glitch works. It doesn't have to be the green potion. It can be any potion. It just works if you use a potion while walking left, in that specific room, you can not lock the one frame you see and kind of move the screen a little bit so you can actually move the mimics off the screen.
No.
And when the mimics are off the screen, you can see the door open.
Now, actually, by the way fylion just did that, he prevented himself from going to the Dark Maze. But it was almost like a call he'd had to make. Because he couldn't get both sets of those without having to do a second potion glitch.
Ah, okay. Well, you could have gone... oh yeah, I guess you're right.
Because, yeah, if he went into the Dark Maze, he wouldn't have been able to get out without death warping.
So he'll come back with the bow and some more keys and probably the lamp.
Yeah. Basically, he chose to go for the chests that were in logic versus the ones that weren't.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure he found nothing worthwhile in Pod.
Yeah, I don't think he found anything worthwhile in there.
And to try to conserve her fire rod by trying to take out this Stalfos with a key. Sorry, not Stalfos, Gibda with a key. With Spin Slash with the Master Sword. Finally, it's done. And drops down into the Mothula fight.
So we don't have a lot of stuff available. We gotta find some progression here soon.
Well, fylion, he does not have the Titan Smiths yet. So, I don't think this Swamp House, the Ice House play can happen.
I'm not sure what he's doing. He's already done all this.
Yeah, he's gotta go back to 3. I remember Bottle Bender, so that's good. Oh, did he? Oh no, he walked right by him again.
Well, there's a mushroom from Mothula. That could be the thing we need.
So he finally gonna go to Skull Woods, but he walked right by Bottle Bender again. I really hope he doesn't forget that.
One more item in here, and it is a Tempered Sword.
I bet she would have liked to have that for the fight.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a hunch.
So, that mushroom might be our progression.
I mean, I think we can enter and check a few checks in Ice Palace with what we got as well.
Oh yeah, you're right. We also do have Meyer. Now I think
And
about
now
it.
if Meyer is Ether, I don't think we've been
Wait.
to Meyer yet.
We can get to the Meyer area. No, Cadenza hasn't been there yet.
Yeah, and that
So you do have the Meyer shed.
I'll have to turn the mushroom in first.
And then there is also purple chest, as Chad points out.
Yeah, there's a few checks left open to us, but not as many as you would expect. And just 50 rupees for the mushroom. The drug deal was a little better than normal. Fylion is going to open this tempered sword before going to Mothula, so that will be a big advantage to him as opposed to what Cadenza had to go through. I mean, Cadenza did do a wonderful Mothula fight as was, but the difference between Tempered and Master in that fight is pretty big. Alright, Cadenza heading to the Meyer area. First check here. Which medallion do we need to enter Meyer? We need Bamos.
There's a second small key to Turtle Rock and another map to Turtle Rock.
I mean, everything is pointing to Turtle Rock at this point, and the only thing we need to enter Turtle Rock is either the hook shot or the mirror. Nice fight for Fylion.
So both runners have Skullwoods down.
Yep. That's one dungeon out of the 11 we need to complete. Well, 12 if you count GT.
I think Cadenza's going to go for Purple Chest.
Yeah, that looks like a play we can make here. Finally, I'm probably going to head over to Village of Outcast because he's going back to Skullwoods here. But he'll get his Titan's Mitts eventually.
Now, it's interesting the setup we're getting for Ice Palace at this point. We've got the big key. We're going to have the Titan's Mitts and Fire Rod. We don't have the small keys yet, but that's a potential full clear you've got an option for right there.
Yeah, I think with no small keys entering the dungeon, I think we can complete... Oh, there's the boots at the purple chest. Wow. Okay, we have some other things to do.
And Cadenza's got an advantage here early. I think it's just, I think her choices have just been paying off a bit more than Phylion's have been.
Yeah, big time. Looks like we're going to get the pyramid check and then the catfish check here from Cadenza. Here is the mitts for Fylion, so let's see where he goes from here, because that was the big progression he needed.
Yeah, looks like Cadenza's going straight for catfish now.
Again, these are plays that you don't normally see in non-key sanity modes, but with some of these overworld items being a lot more valuable, and the fact that we can't full clear dungeons without some extra items, doing out-of-the-way overworld checks does pay off in the long run. And you saw that with one of the things that a lot of people like to skip. The purple chest having the boots, which may or may not be required. We don't know yet, but I mean, you're never ever turning them down. Oh, and Catfish has our mirror, which is huge at this moment. Okay, now we have access to all of Eastside Death Mountain and all of Dark World Death Mountain, and I don't think Cadenza's even been to Death Mountain at all yet.
She's going back here, though.
Probably gonna check the... With the boots in the mirror, I think we're gonna just knock out these 3 North Hyrule checks in a row here. We got Bonk Rocks, we have Graveyard Ledge, and we have King's Tomb. And we can also check what's here on the... Well, we're not going... Oh, yes, we are. Yes, stop debating me, Cadenza. Alright, so she's not going to check it yet, but there was also... Bumper Cave right over here. Oh, can you dig it? It's a shovel.
1-for-1 trade.
Got 2 more items to knock out here. It's finally on completes the front 4 of Thieves, and it's going to probably head on over to Mit's block locations next. I'm pretty sure after this we're going to see probably the flute up to 1.
Yeah.
Oh, fylion, no!
Okay, I'm sorry, that was just funny.
Come on, fylion.
Because that was the perfect fake out right there. He was like, I'm going for bottom vendor. Oh, no, I'm not. And I think he forgot where he was going right there. I mean, as much as we're laughing, it is sad because if he forgets bottle vendor, that could be terrible for him. And just to answer chat, I don't think fylion uses a map tracker. I'm almost certain he doesn't. I think he prefers to go by his memory.
Yeah, which is going to be very unfortunate because this is something he's walked by now 2 or 3 times. And it's one of those things where you think you remember it. Alright, we're going to let this Repellers play here. And oh, there's a big key on the torch. Let's see what that is. Pod big key. Unique kind of magic bat. Thanks, game. Alright, so now we can. Well, we still can't full clear pod, but another. Wow, another big key. This one, Meyer.
So a quick dip in the desert got 2 big keys. And now Cadenza's going up Death Mountain. So Fyon's gonna pick up the Dark World stuff. Not Dark World, Turtle Rock stuff. Alright, where's fylion going this time?
Oh no, Cadenza got deadlocked. fylion might be making the Ice Palace play here now. He just got those time limits.
That's exactly what it looks like he's doing.
So with the items he has, he can definitely get every item in the dungeon and kill the boss, even without any small keys, thanks to the hammer jumps. Also, get some hints. If he finds an ice rock hint, that'd be pretty good. We find out that Pyramid Fairy is out.
Now, without small keys, he is going to have some... It's going to be a little tricky to route this. But...
yeah, it's definitely going to involve doing, and especially with the hook shot, he's definitely going to need to use more than one bomb shot to get around this entire dungeon. But even without hook shot and without small keys from the outside, we can definitely full clear. Nice little spectacle rock bomb jump on Cadenza's side. That is something that I still need to learn. To Hera, we can't do much in here. Two items and a hint.
Oh, there's a nice hint for fylion where the boots are.
Yep, now he knows where those boots are, and the Ganon big key hint is on Cadenza's side, and she is right near it. It's Paradox Cave. So Cadenza will get the Ganon big key on this trek up here in in Death Mountain. The boots hint was that it requires a specialist to unlock, which is specifically the purple chest. So fylion knows to do purple chest if he wants to get those boots, which he will probably do as soon as he's done here in Ice. And Cadenza going down Spiral Cave, and gonna do Paradox Cave after this. That's one of those hints where you don't really need that hint because Paradox Cave is a check that everybody makes.
Yeah, that's true.
When you have 7 items in one location, it's pretty easy. Wow, literally vanilla Ice Palace Monkey. Now that lets him round this stuff easier. He doesn't have to do the harder bomb jumps now. You already did the one that everybody knows.
We got another heart container for fylion as Cadenza is about to check Paradox Cave.
Yep. In case you're brand new to the stream, this is what we call Paradox Cave because when you look on the outside and see where the entrances are, you're like, how is that even possible? You see on the far right side of the Ice Palace is our 3rd Turtle Rock small key. 3 is the magic number to complete the dungeon. Ooh, and there's a big key here too, the Hera big key. Very interesting. Up there's your... Oh, Easter Palace big key, also in Paradox Cave. That's your Ganon's Tower big key, which we knew about. Alright. We still need bow, we still need hookshot, we still need lamp, there's still a lot of items we need. But that's a lot of big keys, 3 straight big keys that we can knock right out. And oh, Ice Palace big key is required for the Desert Palace big key.
So overall, fylion's actually probably going to come out pretty nice after this dungeon.
Yeah, he knocked a completable dungeon out. He's going be able to full clear it, and he knows where the boots are.
Now I just need to somehow send him some telepathic vibes to go check that ice or that bottle vendor.
I mean, if he somehow finds a hint about where Ice Rod is, that would be the most glorious thing for him.
Those would be considered telepathic vibes.
Yes, literally telepathic vibes. This is gonna be, yeah, can you get through? He got through. Alright, Cadenza gonna check one check here in Hookshot Cave. You could bonk over, unless she knows how to hover.
Interesting that Fylion's going back this way.
We get to go downstairs. There's another small key to pod, so once we find that bow, I think we're good on fully completing Palace of Darkness. Yeah, this way is faster to get back to Cold Stare. Ether for Turtle Rock. Well, we can go into Turtle Rock now, and I think that's going to be where Cadenza goes. Oh, Phylon's going to need some magic if he wants to kill Cold Stare.
He has a green potion.
Oh, okay.
He used that green potion.
That's right, he used that green potion in Palace of Darkness.
Did he buy another one, though, when he was at the bottle vendor?
He might have bought a blue. Yeah, he has a blue. Okay, so we're good. Alright, so in Turtle Rock, we can get all the way to Mimic Cave with what we have. Easter key. Okay, so there's another Paradox Cave in for another big key, which we already got. And oh, that was a very, very, very nice fight for Fylion. And gets rewarded with a shield upgrade.
So Fylion's got his second dungeon down. And he's got some nice big keys. And he's most likely going to go for the boots right now.
Yeah, that would be my guess, is that he's going to get those boots now.
At some point, somebody in chat's going to start a counter. We know that.
That's 3. Oh, Hookshot is in Turtle Rock. Well, we were right about that.
Yeah, this seed was definitely telling him to go to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at all that there was someone early in Turtle Rock with that. Now he knows Hookshot. Now we can fully clear Swamp, I believe. Although, does Cadenza have the Swamp Small? It was in CAC. It's not in Dark Runner Tracker, but I thought I saw it on her pause menu though.
I think it was on the Sick Kid. So
I don't tell me they both forgot something in CAC or Revo.
We'll have to confirm when she opens her menu again.
She does not.
She has a small key. Yes,
she has a small key. Okay, yeah. The second one was a 1. Okay. So Cadenza Def has the swamp small. So now she can fully clear Swamp House.
Minus the big chest.
Correct. Well, there's the map for Swamp Palace. Ooh, another big key. There's your big key for Turtle. Okay, game. Okay, I see what you're trying to do here.
So Turtle Rock essentially a double dip.
But at least you're here. I mean, now she can fully complete Turtle Rock with what she has.
She cannot. She only has 2
no.
small.
Oh, he has one more Turtle Rock Small. That's right. The other one's in Ice Palace. Oh, wow.
So, I mean, yeah, well, I could say Cadenza's ahead at this point. I like where fylion is at this point in terms of big keys because of that Ice Palace dive. He just has to remember the bottle vendor.
Yeah, Cadenza's going to make her first trip into the pod, it looks like. Now, she's going to be met with the same roadblocks that fylion did. We do not have the bow yet. I don't think Cadenza checked the shovel spot yet. I think she put it off. Doesn't matter. Looks like fyon's going to make the play eventually with the Catfish. He'll get his mirror. And that will lead him to the Death Mountain checks that Cadenza has done. So both our runners are doing things the other one has done. So let me say this time that if you like what you see from these runners, you can go ahead and give them a little follow there over on Twitch. If you don't want to miss these guys do other races. Their Twitch names are a little different than their screen names, but MF fylion for fylion and Cadenza VVI for Cadenza. See a potion glitch on Cadenza's side as well. So, and with 5 small keys, she can probably just get every item here without having to worry about anything else.
Yeah, she can route this a little better, assuming she knows how to do the bomb jump here.
Even without the bomb jump, well, first off, fylion hasn't checked the Dark Maze yet, so we still don't know what's in there. But even without the bomb jump, if you could skip opening the main door, you could complete the dungeon with only 5 keys. Alright, fylion gives us a mirror. Let's see, I believe he's just going to go straight to Turtle Rock, and yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So this is, if fylion dips Turtle Rock here, this is where forgetting the bottle vendor is going to start to hurt him.
Well, we still don't have the Turtle Rock. Oh, we do have Turtle Rock Big. But, yeah, if he had the Ice Rod, he can fully clear Turtle Rock at this point. And he probably will fully clear Turtle Rock while he's here. Because he will get the hook shot, he'll leave, go to Hookshot Cave, get the Turtle Rock Big, and then go back in.
Yeah, unfortunately, it'll essentially be a triple dip for him, though. But here's something fylion can do that Cadenza couldn't. He can full clear hair. Well, he can essentially full clear hair. He can't get to the basement, but we already know the basement's useless.
Yeah. And he gets his Ganon's Tower Big Key hint. He'll also get one more hint that Cadenza did not get because of the Tower Big Key. Tower Big Key was ice, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, if and when Cadenza does the Dark Maze, oh wow, Bombos is in Hera upstairs.
A unique item held by someone friendly.
That, I mean,
does that count?
Anyone.
Does that count the specialist though?
I don't know. There's your Thieves Town small. Good thing we found that before the big. So At least got that going for you.
Because that might hint him towards Ice Rod, maybe.
I mean, we can only hope that maybe that'll remind him that maybe he didn't check bottom ender. Nice little mold worm kill. But the big thing finally I found here was Vamos. Vamos is required to open Misery Mire, so Cadenza's going to come back here after doing Ice Palace. And it's going to be, again, if it wasn't for Ice Rod, I think Finalion's in the lead here. But because of that Ice Rod, I think Cadenza's in the lead. Cadenza's up the hammering up here and doing the pause strats, which is the safer, albeit slower, but definitely safer way. This is the way I like to do it. Yeah, Summon Friendly could also be Catfish, which he got already, so he might not immediately battle it. He might think that might be the Catfish mirror hint. I believe that's the right setup now. Took a long time, but got there. Alright, now we gotta pay attention to this dark maze. Up Smoky to Skullwoods, that's not needed. Strength to the last chest. I think we got to it. And it's a big 20. So Fylion did not miss anything important in Dark Pot. Now Cadenza's going to do the one check she can do in here, the big chest in Eastern.
Yep, that is it. She cannot get to Armos unless this is the bow.
If this is a strictly vanilla bow, this would be a monster play.
All right, here's the check.
And finally, he'll get that when he comes back. It's not super necessary, but it's still nice to have. Alright, Final's gonna do Turok here, and he can do a lot more than Cadenza could with that small key.
It looks like Cadenza's gonna go for Swamp Palace.
Yeah, Swamp Palace is a play I like right now. It's a full clear dungeon with, I believe, 9 or 10 items.
Yeah.
It's 10.
Yes, 10.
Normally 6 plus the small key and the 3 usual items. That's 10. Although, checking Fauna Grove Cave makes sense also. We'll do that first. I think we already saw this on Fylion side, though. Oh, no, we didn't. It's the lamp. I finally just got the mirror. Why would I say that? Yeah, so the lamp, which is... No matter how good you are, you're going to want the lamp for Agate Tower. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm now going to turn into that shovel.
So, at this point, for big keys, the only big key we still need to find that neither runner's found is the Thieves Town big key.
Yeah, that's the only one.
And after that, in terms of items, we just need to find the bow, I think.
Yeah, finally about to find hookshot. We don't need Quake, so yeah.
So yeah, the only two things we need for our no mode is bow and Thieves Town Big Key.
Yeah, that creeped up on us real quick. I think that happens a lot in Cadenza. You're thinking, wow, there's so many places to check, but now we're looking, it's like, oh wait, we only need this and this. Man, hookshot being behind this long maze is really mean.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Red Fylion was saying, I wish I had a hookshot. Oh, there it is.
And he's dipping out right after finding that hook shot.
He's probably gonna dip right back in once he finds his big key, though.
Yeah, so answer a quick question in the chat. Yes, the map does tell which are crystals, which are pendants, but this is an all dungeons run, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it only matters if you need an item from Ganon's Tower to complete a pendant dungeon, or if you need an item from the pedestal to complete the crystal dungeon.
So yeah, just taking stock of where these runners are at what they need. Fylion needs bow, ice rod, pod big key, the Thieves Town big key, and the Mire big key. And then Cadenza needs bow, desert, Hera, Thieves Town big keys.
Well, she's gonna get the desert and the
Oh, trust me, Bombos.
Yeah, she's gonna get most of those in Ice Palace, though. She's also getting the Turtle Rock Small she needs really badly. Alright, so we'll finally open this chest down here. In Key Sanity, this is usually the one chest you skip if you and yeah, he's just gonna skip this chest for now.
Now, sometimes if you're in like Fylion's position where you don't have the ice rod yet, you might check that chest. But for now, he's gonna leave it alone.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't die here. There's the Herapy Key, which will lead to Vamos.
And Fylion's gonna play it safe, take a death warp to refill some of his health before going into Mimic Cave.
Yeah, this is just a heart refill. Desert Big, so once Cadenza goes back to Hera and gets Vamos, she's only going to need the bow and the Thieves Big.
But yeah, Fylion's gonna get to check some further chests in here. Let's see if he comes up with anything nice.
Yes. I was also going to do the dark maze room here.
In this dark maze room, though, at least it's an easy room. It's an easy one to path to memorize.
Yeah. You just hold, well, as long as you get the story block down. You just up and he just went left. But he can save it. But yeah, so as long as you hold down from the start to get to the switch, and then you hold like left, right, down, or just left, right, left, something like that. So I think he's just a little lost at the moment. Nah, he's on the right track now. So there's a switch hit, and now there's hold right, then hold down, then hold left. And you should be able to just hold left all the way to the exit. There you go. Alright, Laser Bridge. Is this going to be a Laser Bridge bow? We can't escape that, can we? Oh, my response not what we need. Oh, no! Finally, let's look at that to the Laser Bridge.
Yeah, it's gonna set him back a minute or two. Okay.
Yeah, she just missed the setup for the quick kill on Cold Stare, so finally got a perfect Cold Stare kill. She's gonna have a little bit of trouble, but I think she has a potion in reserve. Plus the fire rod is hard.
Come on, Fylion.
Taking all his damage, now he has to do laser skip again, so he might open safety door at this point.
The other reason he might not want to is if he decides he wants to mirror back to that platform to check that one chest. But yeah, he's going to use safety door.
Yeah, he's not going to risk it. He doesn't have safety items, he doesn't have potions, so just... Alright, laser skip is not the hardest trick in the world, but it can definitely trip you up. Where's the map of Thieves?
You know, over on Cadenza's side, she's back over by Swamp Palace, and looks like she's going to go there this time.
Laser Bridge doing nothing right now. Oh, never mind. There's a Thieves' Big Key.
Okay, so that's definitely good fine. He can go finish Thieves Town now.
And he'll walk by Bottle Vendor again.
And he's running back. I think he's going to go check that center chest.
Or does he think he has ice rod?
Wait, does...
He doesn't have ice rod, and he doesn't know it either. Oh, come on!
Alright, this is gonna be a pretty quick mirror out as soon as he gets into Cold Stare. Or Trinix.
So not
Maybe
only...
even before.
There, yeah, right now. Oh, God. So not only did he forget about Bottle Vendor altogether, he just flat out forgot he had it.
Here's another...
If he checks the ring out, it'd be hilarious. Alright, no he's not. That's 4.
But he's going straight for Thieves Town right now, I think.
We can full clear it. Can I get the ice shot hit here in Thieves, please, one time?
So over on Cadenza's side, she's in Swamp. She's only checked one chest so far. Actually, two chests, because the first chest does not have the small key. He didn't check the. He's not checking the hint tile.
He could come back afterwards, probably.
Now, unfortunately, there's one scary situation for fylion at this point, and that is if Turtle Rock is our last pendant, because he could end up full clearing Ganon's tower.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So for his sake, he better hope, or at least he doesn't know yet, but he better hope that Turtle Rock is a crystal.
Well, what Cadenza's doing right now is completely useless because you're just going to find cash and the single arrow. At least it's a single arrow and not unique item. If it's a unique item, that would be the biggest debate of all time.
Kind of just going through and taking stock again. Both runners need the bow. fylion needs the ice rod. fylion needs the pod big key, and Cadenza needs the Thieves Town big key. And Cadenza also needs bombos.
And fylion also technically needs a lamp because he does know dark rooms. I don't know if he knows the Aga dark room.
Oh, Fylion's about to take out blinds. This should be a pretty easy fight for him. Oh!
Yep.
Chat just brought up an interesting point.
Yep, Castle Tower key. That can trip up our runners too. And I've played a Key Sanity all dungeons where the second Castle Tower key was on pedestal. And an item that's needed for a pendant dungeon was in Turtle Rock, so you never know. Oh, there's a small key. That's the fourth Turtle Rock small key. So finally, can now check the lava chest.
That was also a crystal.
Also, nice required double dip because the Thieves Town big key was right before you needed that Turtle Rock small key.
Technically, triple dip.
Yes.
You had to go into Turtle Rock to get the hook shot, to come out to get the big key, to go back into Turtle Rock to get the Thieves Town big key, to come out of Turtle Rock to get the last small key for Turtle Rock.
Hooray. Alright, so let's see what's next on Fylion's agenda here.
Looks like he's going to check this graveyard ledge.
Yep.
Alright, what is... Cadenza's taking on Argus with Tempered Sword. This is a pretty easy fight.
Alright, so I just thought of one scenario that can help Fylion out a lot. Because he's not going to go back to Turtle Rock until he finds Ice Rock. We know that.
Oh, we just got a map check. Turtle Rock is a crystal.
Okay. So what we know... I think I saw a pen on there also. That was the...
Yeah, but Cadenza's got Argus down. There's a small key to Pod.
Wait. Pod was a pendant. both Pod and Eastern are pendants.
They are?
Yeah, Bo could be in Ken's tower.
Oh, man. There's Quake, which is absolutely 100% not required.
Well, that's right. This big key was here. I think we saw it earlier. Oh, that's the Pod big key. That's right. We did see it.
So, Cadenza, probably she's going to clear out Desert now. Oh, she can't clear Desert because you don't have the small key.
Well, you can kill the boss.
Yeah, you can finish it, but you can't clear it.
Right side.
But I think fylion with that Misery Mire big key is going to check Mire now.
Yeah. And he has Bamos, which Cadenza does not have yet. Remember, that's up in Tower of Hera.
Yeah, that's true. This, I mean, as much as we're getting on fylion for missing that ice rod, he's not in a terrible shape just yet. Because yeah, Cadenza still has stuff that she needs to do.
Yeah, we are almost a parity now, other than that ice rod, I believe, because fylion, other than ice rod, just needs lamp and what, Pod big.
Actually, I think didn't he just grab the Pod big key in
that's right,
Desert?
Yeah. He just grabbed Pod big and Mire big. That's right. So he has every big key needed now, I believe.
Yeah, the only one he doesn't have is Swamp, which he does not need.
Yeah.
But Cadenza's going to give us a new check, because she's going to kill Landmolus here.
Phylion's first check here is going to be the big key chest here.
Mire is a little nicer dungeon to route in Key Sanity. Because there's a lot of backtracking in Mire, but when you come into Mire with keys, this is a little bit more pleasant. Oh, no, Pod's not.
Oh, it's not Desert. Okay, so never mind then.
It's okay, Bo's not in GT.
All right.
So what's Cadenza's next move? She's fluting the 1. With the Hera big key and the Total Rock big key, she might be comboing those 2 dungeons right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just thought of a scenario that would really stink for both of our runners. What if the Bo is in Agate Tower, but the second Castle Tower key is on, like, Helmisar or Armos Knights? It's possible.
So go through that again for me.
So in Agate Tower, you have 2 chests that are usually keys, but they'll be items. So if Bo is there, but you'd have to leave to get the second key for there from either Armos Knights or from.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
Or even against Tower. That's a possibility as well.
Oh, there's the cape for fylion. Might take him to a bumper check.
Yeah, Bumper Cave or Spike Cave. I don't think either runners have checked that yet. There's Bombos for Cadenza, so she can now get into Mire. the small key of thieves, which she'll find the big key once she goes back into Turtle Rock.
Alright, here's Cadenza's attack of Moldorm. Fylion's gonna check this hint tile. You're about an hour and a half too late on that hint. Oh, that Moldorm fight almost got away from Cadenza, but she recovered and took him down. So Fylion does not have the lamp, so he's going to have to do these rooms dark.
Yeah, which isn't the... It's not easy, but it's not terribly... It looks harder than it is, I'll say that.
Unfortunately, he's kind of... Oh, I think he had it for a second there.
I think he stepped on the switch. He's still trying to figure out exactly what the switch is. I think he has it now. He has the powder, so he can powder a fairy if he wants to get some health. You listened to me for that one. Let's try this. Go to Bottle Vendor. That's where Ice Rod is. Maybe you heard that too. He can't hear me, for the record.
Yeah, Cadenza going back into Turtle Rock now. She can full clear the rest of this. She'll get her Thieves Town big key here.
Well, she can full clear it if she skips the center chest.
Oh, yeah.
Now, finally, I can come back and finish it. Remember, the center chest is in Thieves Town.
So yeah, if she goes for that center chest,
She would have to leave and come back after she's going to find the Thieves Town big key here, and the center chest, the other small key, is on blind.
So we'll see what she does. Meanwhile, Fylion is having a ton of trouble here. Does he have potions if he needs them? I would consider using a potion at this point. He's got it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he does or not. Oh, well, he's dead.
Alright, Cadenza kind of got off track there. She's got to wait until she can get the pokey. Okay, she's going to leave that behind, so she's going to be able to kill Trinex right now.
Yeah.
And the only way this is going to really bite these runners is if Bo is in that center chest. Wrong skull. So he just did fake real powder.
Well, when you're out of magic.
Well, he will get a full magic refill right over here. Alright, here's Fylion's second attempt at these dark rooms. That room went much better this time.
Oh yeah, by a mile.
Cadenza's back into Turtle Rock, gonna finish checking this. At this point in this race, this is a bit too close to call. It really might come down to who finds the bow first.
He's gonna get so tripped up by the ice rod though.
I guess that's the other thing with fylion. That's assuming fylion finds that ice rod.
Alright, finally let's through the dark rooms. No problems anymore.
So, fylion actually he doesn't have silver ores, but he's experienced at NG, so this is not too be bad for him.
Yeah, just gonna use straight energy strats on this boss, and not gonna take too long. Cadenza's gonna have to do laser skip, but gets the first one. That's the important one. That's the one item she definitely needed.
Oh, and there's the bow on Vitreous.
Wow, bow on Vitreous. Jeez. Okay, all we need now for no mode is that last castle tower key. Cadenza having a little trouble with laser skip.
And fylion's going back in the desert to finish that.
Or
He kind of warped in a bad place. I think he wants to warp to the left of desert so he can go right to the back.
yeah, that makes more sense.
But Cadenza's finished Laser Bridge. He's going for Trinex now.
Yep, finally going straight to Landmo. Cadenza's got to be a little careful in this room. It's a little... She's going to bring the power out. Got to stay away. All right, now we're safe.
So this is another new check on Cadenza's side. What does Trinex have?
Well, if Trinex has Castle Tower Small, I think we're good to go. But I have a stinking suspicion that Castle Tower Small is going to be in GT somewhere.
It's a safe bet considering how there's 27 locations to check.
Alright, phase 1 Trinex down, 1 phase to go. Finally onto Landmo. We need silver arrows here. 1, 2. Oh, got tripped up a little bit in the third shot. Cadenza's going with the reckless. Both bosses go down just about the same time. Fylin's going to be out first because the death animation from Trinex is lengthy.
Just rupees on Trinex.
So from Fylin's position, you got to think he's going to take care of Pond Eastern next. He still has to do Skullwoods. Pedestal is now in play for fylion.
I gotta imagine Phylion's gonna go finish Eastern, do Pod, do Swamp, and then he's gonna start racking his brain about what he forgot.
And to be fair, now he's checking places he's already checked before. I'm pretty sure he's already been here.
Yeah, here's him going. He's going to combo Eastern Pod right now.
Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. And he doesn't go straight to the Thieves Town. So once Cadenza's done with Thieves, and then goes to Mari at the bow, she'll have access to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, Fylion kind of still has a lead, but he's got to find the he's got to remember he's got to remember Bottle Vendor soon after finishing these dungeons.
He also has a lot of swamp to do. I don't think he's done swamp yet.
He has not. But he does have the hint that he can avoid the left side.
That is true. He finally has also his Dark Maze to check. But this is going to go straight to Helmstar first, and then he'll do Dark Maze, then he'll come back. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, for fylion, it's Ice Rod and 1 Castle Tower key. For Cadenza, it's Bow and 1 Castle Tower key. Technically Lamp for fylion too, but at this point, he's probably not looking for that.
Yeah, he wants to worry about Ice Rod first. I mean, I'm sure he's going to check some places along the way, and he'll find Lamp because it's a place I know he hasn't forgotten about. But he's definitely forgotten about Bottle Vendor.
With Fire Rod, he's just going to light up this room to find the turtles easily. On Cadenza's side, she is cruising through Thieves Town. Gonna pick up blind right now.
With the safe strats here on Helmstar with the sword out hammer pokes. And takes it down with a few slashes, and down goes Helmstar King.
Right. Next should be the mirror to Eastern for fylion as Cadenza's about to take on blind.
I think he might go back in just to check Dark Maze first. He is, okay.
And fylion saying for its bomb jump as Cadenza gets her Thieves Town crystal.
Nicely done.
So for Cadenza, her next stop's got to be Meyer.
Yeah. She might be going to Bumper Cave first. She doesn't have the cape yet. The cape is in Meyer. Well, just to check it, I guess. She just remembered it. No, just the Harker there. Alright, now Fylion's off to Eastern, Cadenza off to Meyer.
So here comes Fylion. He's going to pick up his half magic. Then he'll be on his way to Armos.
Yeah, Armos is one thing we haven't seen yet. Cadenza's going to do Mire, which we've seen. Everything's in here already. The most important thing will be the bow on Vitreous. And if there's any silver lining for Fylion at this point, is that if and when he remembers Bottle Vendor, he can do Turtle Rock and his tower at the same time, and then mirror it to Aga Tower. Assuming we find Castle Tower small key in time.
The one thing that could hurt Fylion, really, I mean, this is more than one thing, but if he starts to look at these one-off locations before he remembers, like he might go back up to Turtle Rock and check that middle chest, or I'm not sure what else. Is there how much else can he do?
Well, he still has to check Horn Grove Ledge, which has the lamp, which is funny because he's already done all the dark rooms.
Yeah, Cadenza's most likely going to full clear Mire here.
Yeah, she's got a full clear. She's still looking for Bow and Castle Tower, so. Just a piece of heart and Armos.
There's Green Pendant. He'll probably go turn that in quick.
Yeah. And he can also pull the pedestal.
In fact, I'm pretty sure he will because... Yeah, he's right, but the way he placed his portal.
Yeah, he definitely set up a way to turn in the Green Pendant. But just another piece of heart.
If he goes to pull pedestal, it's going to be another walk by the bottle vendor.
Yep. But he's going to do Swamp first.
Yeah, this isn't bad. He's got a full clear swamp either way, so... Well, he doesn't have to full clear swamp, but he's going to full clear swamp either way because we don't know where that second castle tower key is yet.
Well, he skipped left side, so that's good.
Yeah, I think this seed is really going to come down to what Fylion does after coming out of Swamp. Because if Fylion finds the Ice Rod quick, if he remembers Bottle Vendor, he finds it quick, then he's still got the lead. If he doesn't, then Cadenza is going to take the lead.
Yeah,
here,
for sure.
Very sure.
Now, I'm nervous for both these runners, even though both of them are checking spots that they've already checked. But the other runner has already checked, I should say.
Yeah, I could also see Fylion making the initial climb up Aga Tower to see what those two chests are. But Cadenza's almost to Vitreous. She's almost to her bow.
Looking at the time now, we're at an hour and 50 minutes in, and you realize, you know, this is all Dungeons Key Sanity, and it looks like a good idea on paper, and then you go through all this, and you're just like,
Now, Cadenza with half magic, cape, and tempered sword. Yeah, this is a pretty easy fight.
Yeah, it is the safe strategy if you're not comfortable with the NMG strat. Just put the cape on and start dashing.
Yep, as long as you're attacking with the sword, the cape doesn't drain.
Yeah, and so you can just slash away, not worry about the magic. And she's gonna say, "Well, I really wish I had the bow for this fight. It'd be a little easier." Oh wait, there it is.
So Cadenza now is a castle tower key from Go mode.
Yes, just needs one more castle tower key to go up Agate Tower as one of the dungeons. But luckily, you can route it in such a way that you can. She's probably going to clear out Finalizing now. Then she's going to go to Ganon's Tower. She'll probably full clear Ganon's Tower looking for that key. And then, when you kill Agate 2, you warp to the top of the pyramid. You can mirror and then warp to number 1. Or warp to and it does mirror do Agate 1. Then you start at the top of the pyramid again. Then you just go kill Ganon.
So here's fylion coming into Argus. Tempered sword. This will be a pretty simple fight.
Nice silver arrow kill on Argus by fylion. Gets his last spot key. So he doesn't need it anymore.
But yeah, now the question for fylion is, what does he do next?
Well, hopefully you remember one of the locations is to check. I think first up might be Haunted Grove Ledge, which is where the lamp is.
Yeah, it looks like he's heading straight there. I'm pretty sure he knows the big bomb is nothing.
Yeah. So thinks he's definitely got to check is this and pedestal. What we hope he checks is the bottom ender.
Yeah, this is the point in the seed where, as a runner, you're just racking your brain trying to think about what you forgot to check.
Yeah, definitely.
Heading up towards Village of Outcasts. This is Cadenza. She's working through Pod. She's on her way to Helmassar. At this point, for her, it's just finish Pod, finish Eastern, and then up to GT. Yeah, he's gonna go check the bumper ledge now.
Bumper ledge and pedestal. Seems like the right combination. Oh, let's see what he does next. Maybe that was the last location he was thinking of, so let's see what he does.
He's going back to Turtle Rock.
He's going back to 1. Oh no. He's going to do center chest of Turtle Rock.
I'm actually surprised he didn't go pull the pedestal.
I am surprised by that too.
And so this is where Cadenza has the opportunity to pull pretty far ahead.
Oh wait, he's in Spike Cave.
Okay, Spike Cave, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, Spike Cave is hard to leave from, so you might as well just do it, save and quit, then do other things after that.
Cadenza's, she's got Helmasaur down. She's in the Eastern. And I think Fylion's going for Aga Tower now.
Okay, he can check both chests in here. He can't complete it at the moment, unless he finds a vanilla Aga Tower key. But he can check both chests.
Finding a vanilla Aga Tower key actually might be a good thing for him, because Cadenza's most likely gonna full clear GT.
Oh yeah, for sure. Of course, he's just looking for Ice Rod. And of course, that key.
One more chest in here. You can check.
Alright, that's not the answer. Let's see where his next check's gonna be.
Back to
now.
one.
Now it's probably gonna be Turtle Rock.
Yeah, he's got that hook shot out. He's going to Turtle Rock.
There's just one check in there. And he knows it can't be Castle Tower key now. He knows Castle Tower key is... Well, he thinks he knows Castle Tower key is locked by Ice Rock.
So at this point, I'd say Cadenza has the lead. She's going to go to GT next. The one thing that can still save Fylion is if the Castle Tower Big Key is not in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, like if she skips Pedestal and turns out to be Pedestal and he checks looking for like Ice Rod or something, it might turn out to be beneficial. Nice little strat to use the bomb to walk past the portal. She's gonna go check Sahastra. She might also pull Pedestal beforehand to Ganon's Tower, which is a play I would probably make. Let's see if she makes it. No, she's going straight to GT.
So at this point, this really does feel like Cadenza's race.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it really at this point is going to come down to two things: one, where is the Castle Tower key, and two, how soon does Fylion remember the bottle vendor? Oh, she's gonna hedge her bets bit and check Spike Cave first. Cadenza's back up to Mountain Cave. Wrong tube, Fylion.
He was supposed to have center chest. Now, if this is Castle Tower key, this is the best thing for Fylion. Because this is probably the last spot that Cadenza would come back to. No,
nope. Map of Ganon's Tower.
Alright, Fylion. Put your thinking cap on.
Did he miss an item in here?
No. 11 to 12 on the compass.
Oh, yeah.
tracker.
Trinax. Okay. And I think Fylion at this point is stumped.
Yeah, I believe so too. So he's not only has he forgotten about Pedestal completely, but he's also... Would you see a nice little glitch that Cadenza just did? That was like an unintended glitch. She bonked into the bonk rocks that spawned a fairy, hit a dead rock at the same time. The rocks didn't disappear when the fairy popped out. Someone report that.
Yeah, he's standing there. He's stumped.
Yeah, he's definitely stumped. Now he's going to think of what locations did I forget.
He's pulling out the flute. This might be the pedestal pull, though.
Alright, swim to 3. He's right there. No, he's on a pedestal.
There's that 5. Alright, but over on Cadenza's side, she is in GT. Is the castle tower key in here? Starting with the compass. 27 locations.
Yeah, 27 locations to check. As soon as she finds the castle tower key, she'll be in go mode and just be able to just complete the rest of the game. Let's see if the castle tower key or something else is here on the pedestal. No, just arrows.
It's almost guaranteed you got to be in GT at this point.
Yeah.
Unless
there's a... Oh, that's ice pals though. Another key. Oh, there it is, castle tower key. Ladies and gentlemen, at 2 hours and 2 minutes and 4 seconds, Cadenza has achieved go mode. And she has a very comfortable lead.
Yeah, and fylion is stumped. I mean, there's still a race to finish. It's not over yet, but I mean, at this point, I think fylion has completely forgotten about Bottle Vendor.
Yeah, he's walked by it 5 times. There's no way he remembered to check that.
I mean, we should also give a lot of credit to Cadenza. She's played a pretty good race here. I mean,
oh yeah, her routing was pretty much spot on, matching what fylion was doing the entire time. In different orders, mind you, but she didn't really get thrown off by anything. Alright, well, he is checking one of the locations he might have forgot. He's in the Village of Outcast now.
No, Cadenza is in the gauntlet. She's climbing.
Well, he doesn't have the compass for Thieves Town, so he's going to just double check all the checks in here.
Here's Landmola 2. She's a little off on her first shot, so she's not going to zero cycle this.
Yeah, she's just a little late on getting those silver arrows out. And finally, is checking everything he's looking for, but all he has to do is mirror and talk to guys.
Cadenza continuing to climb up. She's in the Wizrobe rooms.
Yeah, she got through that gauntlet very cleanly.
Yeah, he's going to check everything. Fylion's going to check Big Bomb now.
Yeah, he saw a hint for it, but he's just going to double check.
Cadenza's lighting the torches. On 6th floor, she's approaching Moldorm 2.
It's talking under the fact that fylion did not have the 100 rupees when he went into when he was past Battle Vendor the first time. If he's using the tracker, he'd probably just marked it off and just forgot about it. It's easy to do.
Yeah, I think I mentioned earlier, I don't think fylion uses a map tracker, so... But here's Cadenza and Moldorm 2. It's a spin and a slash, and a fall.
Some arrows and some cash, which we knew about with a hint. But, I mean, when you're finally on, you have to double check everything just in case.
Alright, she's on her way up to Aga 2. For her, it's just basically clear Aga 2, mirror at the pyramid, Aga 1, and then Ganon. Obo basically says, I've already given you my stuff, why are you coming and talking to me?
Yeah, something like that.
Alright, start with a 1 for Cadenza. There's another 1. There's another 1.
Another 1. This is the DJ Khaled fight. So. Alright, finally send him up to Kakariko. Maybe he'll get his ice run now. He is checking places he's already been, so this is good. This is good news for fylion. Cadenza takes down Aga 2. Come on, fylion. You're right there. He's just muscle memorying his way through
Pretty much.
Kakariko at this point. Then remembering not to drop down right away. Let's stay in front and mirror. We gotta kill him again and go back in time. Alright, come on, fylion, you're right there. Come on. Just talk to him. There you go. There's your ice rod. And are we gonna see bombs? Yeah, we're gonna see bombs at least. Yep, there's your frustration.
So fylion is now just a Castle Tower key away from go mode. He can finish up Turtle Rock and go into GT afterwards. But
so here's the thing: he knows that Cadenza's not done yet, so he's like, "So you're saying there's a chance?" He knows he's probably woefully blind, but there's still a chance. Now, Cadenza's going to be done within the next 3 to 5 minutes, but fylion doesn't know that.
So, I've seen some messages about Cadenza's other race against Elminster.
Elminster forgot Battle Vendor in that matchup also. If you can believe that.
That's just a kind of a funny coincidence.
That is a very, very... It's such a weird coincidence that that's how Cadenza is going to be more than likely 2-1 in this match.
And let's not take away anything from Cadenza. She's been playing very well. She's deserved her wins. So
yeah,
you know, we're not taking anything away from her. We're just noting it's a funny coincidence.
When you're in top 96, you in this tournament, you deserve to qualify for this, no matter who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in Randomizer, as you can see, anything can happen. Anyone can win at any given time.
All right, here's the Aga 1 fight for Cadenza.
Yeah. Aga 1 will go a lot smoother than Aga 2 did, solely because she has to deal with one Aga this time, and it's very predictable. And as long as you just stand 90 degrees left to right of Aga, you will never get hit, and you will always hit back. I haven't been keeping track of the blue balls, and I forgot to mention the chat to try to guess how many they were. I'm sorry, I'm a bad meme. But I think that was 1 or 2.
Yep. And now here comes the Ganon fight.
And I get full heart refill for Ganon, which is perfect. We have Tempered Sword, Silver Arrows. If you need it, we have Magic Cape. We should be perfectly fine here. Nice setup for phase 2. Perfect. Exactly where you want them to be.
Alright, just 4 slashes in phase 3.
Yep.
Well, Phylion's frustration slashing his way into Trinex.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, we're into phase 4. Just 4 silver arrows.
Yep, we got the silver arrows from Zelda Cell. We got the torch glitch. We just need 3 more silvers into Ganon's body. Last hit, and there it is. And ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this race is Cadenza. She finishes with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 5 seconds. Get your GGs in chat in for Cadenza, our winner. She improves to 2-1 in her group.
And it looks like we've got her ready for an interview, so let's bring her in.
And joining us is our winner, Cadenza. GG.
Thanks.
So, how are you feeling going through the last few phases, seeing that fylion wasn't finished yet?
I must say the last maybe 15-20 minutes were very... I was very nervous. I was really shaking on my Ganon's fight. I had the feeling that fylion couldn't be so far behind or ahead, so yes, that was stressful.
Yeah, but it turns out that the entire race, fylion, when he went through Kakariko, did not have money for the bottle vendor and never went back to check it.
Yeah, I've seen the end of the restream and people in the chat, so it's been 2 races in 2 that my opponent forget the bottle vendor.
Yeah,
it's
we were talking about that when you raced Elminster. He also, so you raced the 1 and 2 seed in your group, or is it 1 and 3? The 1 to 3 in your group, and you beat both of them I'm not saying solely because of that, but that was one of the contributing factors.
Yeah, I must say, Elminster, it was because he forgot the tall room. Which is Bumbo's for Meyer in our last pendant, so...
Yeah. So, how do you feel about this mode, this all dungeons key sanity?
Well, it's nice in key sanity to do all dungeons. You don't have to bother about whether it's a pendant or a crystal. You can finish it, you go do it. So, I don't do any map checks when I play all dungeons. And it went pretty smoothly, I think, so I'm pretty happy overall.
Yeah, the logic was a little weird because the logic wanted you to like triple dip Turtle Rock. They wanted you to go in to get the hook shot, leave, get the big key, go back in, get the Thieves Town big key, leave to get a 4th Turtle Rock big key. But as it turns out, because you were able to skip the center chest, you didn't need that 4th Turtle Rock big key.
Yeah.
So looking ahead to your next matches, like what modes would you consider if you were to, when you face fylion and Elminster in the rematches?
Well, I think that I have a less good execution than my opponent, so I will probably choose a mode in which there's more luck involved. So probably not all dungeon, maybe Kisinti, maybe not. So depending on the check, one opponent can have some advantage.
Yeah, that's understandable. So I was reading from one of my good friends and Ninban, who was part of the French tournament, said your first randomizer experience was running the French tournament earlier this year?
As a racer, yes. I've started playing Rando like in March, but before any tournament I was just playing for fun, but the French tournament gave me really an incentive to work on my execution. During that tournament, my PB went from 1 hour 52 to 1 hour 35.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, so...
You gotta get that sub 90 in open mode now.
It seemed reachable now.
Yeah, that was always my goal. Like when I was racing, I was always like, "Oh, let me get like the sub 90 was like the goal for a rando runner. Like if you're lucky enough to get a good seed, you can sub 90 it. That's what everybody told me. And now, whenever there's a solid seed, that's what I shoot for. You definitely have the execution for a sub 90 in open mode. I wouldn't be surprised to see you get it, even in this tournament, because you can choose, vanilla open mode, vanilla standard mode in this tournament.
Yeah. Or we can get it by chance in the third race.
Yeah, it could happen. When you do the third race, what mode are you going to block out, if you don't mind talking about it?
Probably Swordless, because that's the mode in which I had the least experience, but I'm practicing it right now, so it's more and more manageable.
Okay, that's understandable. Yeah, Swordless, Inverted, I think are the two. I think most of the runners who were like 5th or 6th seeds would probably want to strike out, solely because the execution is more important in those modes than the others.
Yeah. I was expecting that players like Elminster would have chosen such a mode against me, but they didn't, so... And I must say, the Randomizer we got wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
So.
I think Randomizer is one of those modes that actually caters to it favors the execution runner less, because they can't do like muscle memory stuff. Like if you want to do muscle memory and all of a sudden a room full of Wizrows becomes a room full of mini Muldorms, for example, well,
yeah.
That changes what you gotta do.
Yeah, fair point. I haven't thought about that.
Anyway, fylion is now in the Muldorm 2 fight. He's going to just kill both the Agas and then be on to Ganon's Tower to kill Ganon. And yeah. JP, got anything you want to say?
Well, I think you covered most of it. Say you're gonna be at Tune 1, and so which seed in your group were you?
Which the sextile?
Which one?
Yeah, you're talking about the sextiles?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I'm the last one. I'm rank 91.
Okay. So you basically are going to have to deal with everybody else's mode
Yes.
first, and then you get to choose the modes.
Yes. Well, I don't mind. It doesn't change very much anything.
Yeah, I mean, starting 2 and 1 in this tournament is pretty good, and there's still a lot to go. So it will be interesting to see how that plays out for you.
I hope I have a good winning streak.
Yeah, I think we've got about all of it. Do you have your next match scheduled yet?
Not yet. It will probably be next Friday or next weekend.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, any final thoughts from you on the seed?
Oh, not really. I don't remember everything, but I know I have some other things to work on my execution. I had a very bad Landmo 2 fight, Aga 2 fight. So I keep that in mind that I have to work on that a little more.
Yeah, that is fair with always practicing those little bits of execution to help you improve in the future.
Yes.
Finally make a really quick work of Aga Tower here. You gotta admire fylion for coming through and finishing this race even after seeing his opponent has finished before him after everything that he went through. This race was, if it wasn't for Ice Rod, it was really neck and neck the entire time. It was very impressive to watch.
I'm looking forward to watching the VOD of that. It will be interesting. I thought that I've earned a real victory. I'm a little bit sad that I've won over a mistake, something I've forgotten, but
well, I mean, I wouldn't feel too bad about it. I mean, everyone's made mistakes. Everyone's won and lost because of it. So,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I could always brag about how the time I beat JP in Bingo, because even though I forgot Sword in Eastern Palace for like 20 minutes, I still beat him because I'm better. No, I'm kidding. Me and JP race a lot off outside of tournaments, and he usually crushes me. So I'm happy to have that one time over him. And yes, I still brag about it. Yeah, everyone does dumbs. It happens to the best of us. It happens all the time.
Yeah, when you go out of your usual routing, it's so easy to forget you haven't done something.
Yeah, Malagord in chat brings up a good point. Even Andy, who won the last tournament, he did a dump early on in a rando tournament. He forgot to check the drop down in Lost Woods. So now when you talk to the NPC in Lost Woods, it says, "Have you seen Andy? He lost his precious Ether medallion here." There's one race where Ether was at the drop down. He completely forgot about it, and there you go.
That became a legend.
it may live with you for a little bit, but when it's someone as good as Andy, it may live for a long time and be immortalized in the game. You never know.
Okay, so I must do those kind of mistakes while I'm not so good at the game. Two old people will not keep that in mind.
So we got fylion. He's just finished phase 3 Ganon, going on to phase 4. Oh,
don't fall, fylion. You have to roll. Oh my gosh. fylion, please.
Come on, fylion.
He was going for swag strats and it almost backfired in the worst way. Alright, there's the last arrow hit for fylion. And fylion has finished this race. He is measuring official speed runs live time of 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 43 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for fylion. Great sportsmanship on finishing this. I'll see if we can get him in here if he wants to chat with us. But I wouldn't blame him if he wouldn't because of how that went down.
Oh, there he is in the setup room. Can bring him in.
Alright, there we go. And fylion has joined us. GG.
Hi, guys.
So anything you'd like to talk about to start?
Alright, so I've seen some theories that I'm some sort of incredible anti-capitalist, which is not true because I was very, very impressed with how Zora would give me most of my money back, which is actually kind of nice of him. The truth is what happened with the bottle vendor was that I wasn't thinking clearly at that point. And that's because I was on some pretty strong guilt from escape, all things. I think I killed 10 enemies in a row without getting a drop. You saw I got like a bomb for the key rat, or a bomb for the back 3 chests on the last rat in escape. And then I missed an 8-bomb drop on my way out.
Yep, I remember seeing that.
And I was mad about that for about 20 minutes. Just the whole thing. You know, missing 8 bombs was one thing, but missing like 10 drops in a row, I just got really frustrated by that. So when I got Dark World access, I wasn't thinking clearly, and I had kind of routed the village out of order because I bought bombs first. So that's what happened there.
Yeah, I definitely noticed the way. Sorry about the background noise, but the way that you routed Village of Outcasts right after I was talking about, I make that play, but it's understandable you skip Bottle Vendor. I thought also because you didn't have the 100 rupees when you went back up after buying the bombs.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing is once I came out of the well, I actually had enough money to go buy my ice rod, and I could have done it right then, but I was so interested in this idea of jumping into the Dark World just to scout the start of Skull Woods that Bottle Vendor completely slipped my mind.
Yeah, that's definitely a play I make, but yeah, because the circumstances that led to everything, it's really understandable how that went down.
Yeah, and then you know, the rest of the race was it was really uneven. I felt there were some spots I executed very well, and then there were some spots where I just couldn't get it to stick. So, you know, runs are runs. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
It's interesting because I think the two of you basically the same thing. Was that sometimes the execution was on point, sometimes a little spotty. You guys routed kind of differently, but it all wound up in the end. The only difference was that you didn't have the ice rod. I think it would have been a really close race.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have. I covered a lot of the world.
Yeah.
And then when I got the ice rod, finally, I checked IRC and to see if Cadenza was done, and she wasn't. So I just closed it and said, "Right, well, I'll I'll see if I can still pull this out. So I didn't know I had lost till it finished.
Yeah, I kind of figured because that's something I would probably do also, and I mentioned that in the commentary that when you get the ice rod and you're like, all right, this happened, let's see what happened, and she wasn't done yet. You're like, so you're saying there's a chance I might be able to still pull this off? Then yeah, and Ganos Tower and Aga Tower was like spot on. Of course, you didn't know it was already done, but yeah, you played really good once you found out ice rod. I was
you didn't see my Landmo 2 fight, but okay.
I'm talking about I saw more of Aga Tower was really good.
Yeah, no, I was very pleased with Aga Tower. I was pleased with a lot of what I did in Ice Palace worked out really well. That between Ice Palace and Turtle Rock, this I don't want to call this a troll seed, but it was more like it had been made with the original Link to the Past philosophy, where you walk into a dungeon and there's a thing that you can use. Like, I went into Ice Palace with no keys, but you can still clear the whole thing if you bombed enough. And then it just gave me a small key and suddenly everything worked out, and it was, okay. I wasn't expecting that, but sure, if you're going to give me that, I'll take it.
Yeah, and then Turtle Rock, you walk in, second chance to check this hookshot, you leave, and the big key is the hookshot came right next door.
Yeah, I had a pretty good laugh about that.
And then what the logic wanted you to do, because the logic wants you to have all 4 keys, once you get all the way to the last chest of the laser bridge, get to Thieves Town big, go back to Thieves Town to get the last small key for blind.
Yeah, and then Turtle Rock had some weirdness. My original plan when I was going in was to take an intentional death at the big chest, get the save point, and then I could open the lava chest if I needed to, scout whether or not I needed that small key, and then I kind of just got thrown by having the big key with me, and I didn't necessarily do that whole dungeon routing properly the second time. But well, there is just means there's always a room for improvement.
Yeah. Well, the good news for you is that even though you're now what, 0-2 or 0-3, there's still
0-2. I have not lost my third match yet. They'll come soon.
All right. You'll lose to Elm soon. Don't worry. Anyway, I'm kidding. There's 15 races, so you still have a lot of room, a lot of wiggle room in your group still.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to call myself out yet.
All right. Any last words, on JP?
I got nothing. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, GG's again. Any last words, JP, before we sign off for the night?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a very well-run race by both of you. I mean, it was back and forth for a while. I mean, honestly, if I it was just as simple as, I know this probably doesn't help, but it was as simple as if you'd remembered that Ice Rod a little earlier, that race would have swung your way, but yeah, it was a very even race beyond that. So, good game to both of you.
Yep. If you guys want some more randomizer action, you head over to Speed Gaming 4 right now. Probably catch the tail end of a all dungeons standard mode between Firewood King and Tajaru. They might also catch the tail end of an inverted over on Speed Gaming 3. Tomorrow we'll have at least 5, maybe more races for you to be reaching here on Speed Gaming. Maybe some more over on ALTTPR. What I recommend is you go follow the channel Speed Gaming, Speed Gaming 2 through 6, ALTTP Randomizer, and ALTTP Randomizer 1 through 5. Stay up to date on all of the randomizer tournament that's going on. You can get the full schedule. They're linked in the chat if you want. Yeah, we're just starting. We have a long road ahead of us.
I'm just going to make a quick comment. I just looked back at Fylion's file names, and it kind of seems appropriate now.
Oddly prescient.
Oh, wow. That's kind of like do you remember the qualifier race where Hookshot was on Pen and Helmasaur? My file name for that was Hookshot Please. So, yeah, I see where you're going with that.
He's a fortune teller.
Anywho, Go give these two runners a follow if you like watching people stream Randomizer. They're always on there. I always say that. I mean, whatever. Follow the Speed Game channels, follow the ALTTPR Randomizer channels. Lots of tournament races. Group stages will last until early December, I believe. fylion, you're an admin, you can tell us.
Honestly, I go through so many revisions of every document that I don't always know what the final one settles on. You have a better chance asking someone who read it once.
I think the way it's set up is they basically push the group stage back a few days because the group reveal is pushed back a few days. So I think the group stage goes till like December 5th, and then there's a few days set after that for tiebreakers to take place if needed. And then the bracket starts after that. Anyway,
you're going to see 96 runners go through 15 races each. That's a lot of Randomizer, and we're going to try to get as much of it on stream here on Speed Gaming or on the ALTT Randomizer channels. Make sure you keep in touch with everything that's going on here. Any last words before we sign off for the night?
No, I think you got everything. Thanks to our tracker as well, Nif Boy.
Yeah, Nif Boy, great job tracking. You know, Tracker's doing a good job when we don't mention you all the time. And shout out to the chat for willing fylion over to Bottle Vendor eventually, even after he passed it 5 times. Yes, we can count. On that note, on behalf of JP and everyone here at Speed Gaming, I'm NY Rambler, and take care. Good night, everybody.